So it wasn't till about a month later that we saw him next at the supervised visits on, I think, the street. Anyways, I forget the street. It was at the Native Services Unit, it's called. Or, yeah, Native Services Unit. Aboriginal Services Unit in Brantford. And they were giving us quite generous visits. They were giving us one every day after that or something together a few times a week, and then one by myself, and then one just dad, and then like a few together. So that's how we were gonna see him. And then they had that at the Aboriginal Services Unit for a little while, and then they told us they're gonna have to switch the visits over at Slovak Village Access Center, this in some apartment building down on the end of the area past where we live. And it wasn't just so that they could be closer to where we live. It was just because they were trying to say that they had too many visits in their offices and they didn't have enough staff, so they sent us over there. And we had to go through the brochures and everything, and policies of the Slovak Center. And they had a language clause. If you speak a foreign language, you have to have an interpreter or something like that. And both the dad and I was fluent. Like, I can read fluently and speak a little bit, and he can speak fluently, or he could. And we had to have a meeting about that because we had to contact a native interpreter on reserve, see if they can come to the visits. And anyways, he wrote back and he says, oh, I know that girl, talking about me. I know that girl. She doesn't speak the language at all. She's not fluent. So we had to go through with the visit, saying that, they said to us that I couldn't speak any language to the baby. So I was prepared for that, and I did it quietly when they weren't looking and all that, and tell them I love him and talk to him a little bit, and that was really good. But otherwise, they kept an eye on us at that place. They had 2 visits going at one time, so there was room for that. And we got into a little bits of trouble afterwards because I started getting stressed out with him, because the dad thinking that, this is your fault, like, you got us in this position where we can't have him. And he wasn't, he was starting to drink a little bit on his visit days and not go. And I said, they're gonna cancel everything on you, and you gotta go. And it would just turn into a little bit argument. So when I talked to the worker next, I was just, at my wit's end with that. I said, you know what? I don't want to have any more visits with the dad, because if he ruins his visits, I don't want mine to be cut off, sort of thing. And, I've gone through so much with them. They're vindictive like that. You better be prepared for the worst, because you don't know anything what could happen, and you gotta think like that. So I did that, and they separated our visits entirely. They made him go to the ASU for a while, and then me at the Slovak. And I said, that's not fair. Why do I gotta go here? I want to go back to the ASU too. So then they threw him at the Slovak with me. And so we had visits like that for a little while, and then I think I got an extra visit or something. They give me a next access calendar, and it had put me back to the ASU for some reason, and I was by myself. And I had been going to personal counseling for a long time and learning how to deal with my anger management and deal with my stress and anger against the children's aid workers. And I had a really nice, beautiful Celtic lady named Linda, and she was my counselor, and I just loved her. She was like a niece, an auntie to me, and so sweet and gentle, reminded me of my own auntie. And she taught me how to do some, I close my eyes and go to a happy place and count down and breathe and think of the happy place from 10 to 1 sort of thing. So when I was on my way to the visit that was at the ASU next, Dad brought me there, and the family worker, our family worker, her name was Chantal, and we had a different worker after the baby was born. That wasn't the one who decided we could keep him and had talked to the manager on our behalf about it. It was a new worker, and she was Seneca just like the dad was, and and I'm Mohawk, so it's all good. She says, you can stay if you want to have the visit with the baby, just making these things off the top of their head when they already put in court papers, it's set in stone this way or that way, that sort of stuff. It just drove me nuts. And because you'd ask for something like that next time and it would be no, and then when you're like, why not, and it would be, oh well, it's this way or that way, sort of. That's the way they treat people. And he had been drinking the night before. He said he wanted to go home and shower. He wasn't in the mood to be having the visit today. So I sort of felt like my heart sank into my stomach, with him leaving me alone in the children's aid, the way they treat me. And he didn't seem to get the worst of it the way I did, but I'd been in it many more years than him too. And this was just brand new to him. So I sat there alone, and the baby was waiting to be brought from the foster home. It was with a Christian family, a non-native family out in the country of Mount Hope there or something, or Springbell, or I don't know, something out that way. And the worker had just been, like instigating me. She came back into the foyer there to talk to me a little bit, and I thought, oh my God, I can't do this. And I closed my eyes and I started counting 10 to 1 and having my happy place thoughts. And then she threw a real hard curveball at me, and I can't think of it right now, but I'll remember. I don't forget it. But yeah, she said something really bad to me, and it just threw my mind out of my normal self. I was psychologically terrorized by them, and she had made me feel that way again. And the foster mom was late bringing the baby, like 15-20 minutes or something. And then when they got him into the back of the office, they brought him in the back of the office. It was probably a space as big as in this little room here. And they hid. So like if that door right there is the way out, so where I could see from down that hallway to the back of the room where they were, they stood on this side, so I couldn't see them talking. And then a couple of minutes later, I see the diaper bag put out where I could see on the table there, and they're still talking. And then after 5 minutes that I'm sitting there hiding and talking, or you couldn't hear a word going on, they come out and they says, oh, here's your visit, here's your baby, here's a diaper bag, and there you go. And I go into the visit room with the baby, and the supervisor's sitting there, and he's an Onondaga man, faith keeper of the longhouse, and he was sitting there and giving me his smug looks. And I began my visit. I put the baby down, take him out of the carrier, tell him hello and I love him, and kisses and stuff, and looking what's in a diaper bag. And there was just a brush with lots of long blonde hair, like a woman's brush, a woman's pads, a toonie, and some other strange thing. Nothing for the baby was in there, no bottle, no medicine, and he was sick, had a little cold, and he had to eat, right? And we had bought him a lot of stuff, and we told them to send it with the foster family. We bought him everything and told them to send it with him to the visits. It's his stuff, so we wanted to stay with him, and then we'll use it. Just bring some stuff for us to use at the visits, you know. And they told us not to worry about diapers. They could always supply diapers, and I said that's okay. We'll bring some too. But there was nothing, not even diapers or nothing. You know what I mean? And I was beginning to, my back was up. I was on alert with this one. And then things that happened next was very, it went downhill after that.